Meghan Markle has unfairly got a reputation for being a bit of a diva, but royal insiders say she's only ever made one demand. Don't leave her alone with Prince Andrew.
Fiancée, Miss Meghan Markle, is on the American program Suits.
Yes, Wednesdays, 8 p.m, USA Network.
The only difference between that show and this is people watch this one.
If you had lunch with Meghan Markle, you'd be stunned at how dumb she was. Not because she's black, because I wouldn't think she was black if I looked at her, because she's an actress who was on the show Suits.
Authentically, organically want to share. I go back to the authenticity, right? It's what I love and it's what I want to share. I wanted to do what felt authentic, but also to be authentic.
You're a cold-hearted woman.
Harry and Meghan are leaving the palace to become financially independent. And you see, this is what happens when you bring the first black woman into the royal family. Yeah. She looked at Harry and she's like, "Nigga, you need to get a job. You need a job. You a grown-ass man. You can't still be living in your mama's house, Harry."
Meghan Markle is somebody who obviously, at least for a period of time, was a close associate of Prince Andrew, and hence is in a position to perhaps have seen what he did, and perhaps, if not, to have seen what he did, to have heard people talk about it.
You're a cold-hearted woman, Sonia. I'll fucking show you, dying. I'm leaving you. Is it a Weekend at Bernie's situation, Sonia? What the fuck are you talking about? No, he's fine. He's signing the documents.
And he'll say M and you'll say H and your friends say M and it just is a thing.
It's a thing.
And do you both love it?
Yes, and I like nicknames a lot.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
Please subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it truly means so much to me. For someone who says she wants privacy, Meghan Markle sure knows how to stay loud. Every week there's a new interview, a new speech, a new headline with her name stamped on it. The cameras never seem to be far away, even when she claims she wants space. And critics say it's been like this for years.
I've already settled it for myself, so flattery and criticism go down the same drain. Nothing negative about being a feminist. It's not the F word.
Meghan Markle is, of course, a lifelong feminist, which she's demonstrated by marrying a prince and giving up her job.
When something makes her look bad, it disappears. When a story doesn't hit right, it gets rewritten. And if someone questions her brand, suddenly they're the villain. There's nothing wrong with being a feminist. That's not the issue. What people call out is the performance. The polished speeches about empowerment mixed with constant victim stories.
My friends have to read those things. Like, I have real best friends, the same ones since I was 17. You know, like, I'm a real mom. I have to go and I choose to go and do school pickup and drop off, but I do that under a landscape that is created that forgets that I'm a real person. My kids will see those magazines, and we all know moms gossip.
She is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim.
No, you're not a fucking victim. What are you talking about?
Sure. Jimmy Carr didn't tiptoe around it. He ripped into that polished image and called her the fakest feminist alive. Harsh? Yes. But that line stuck because a lot of people were already thinking it. The endless my truth, my pain, my struggle routine starts to feel rehearsed when accountability never shows up. When the story shifts and no one admits it.
Well, you never stood a fucking chance, did you?
Prince William or Prince Harry?
Prince William or Prince Harry? Well, the royal family, right, if you can imagine, they're like our Kardashians. Prince Harry is very much our Kanye. He occasionally dresses as a Nazi, and he fucked up.
People notice. And that was just the warm-up. Jimmy didn't lightly tease Harry and Meghan. He went straight for the jugular of their royal rebrand. He mocked the whole freedom narrative. Prince Harry says he left to escape control. The palace was strict. The media was relentless. Everyone had rules for him. But now, critics say he looks more managed than ever. Carefully branded, carefully packaged, streaming deals, scripted documentaries, perfect lighting.
I think Harry's a f***ing twat. I do. I think he's a twat. He's a whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems.
You've been handed the world and every major contract, you had podcasts, you have all of this, and you didn't deliver because
there's nothing to deliver.
Yeah, because you don't have it. And that's okay. And I think they do have a right to privacy, but that doesn't seem to me what they're looking for.
That independent life comes with production teams and press tours. The irony writes itself. He didn't walk away from structure. He swapped one system for another. Instead of Buckingham Palace, it's a Montecito mansion with cameras, ring lights, and strategy meetings. Instead of royal courtiers, it's media consultants. And the wild part? He still talks nonstop about the royal life he claims he wanted to escape. Books, interviews, docuseries.
She has connections. She has people whose necks she can step on to get to the next level. She does not have friends. And nobody is a realer housewife than Meghan Markle, who married this ginger retard and took him out of his racist family so that they could live in Beverly Hills or wherever the they live. Well, what's brilliant about what she's doing is she knows people want to spend money, and spending money makes them feel like they're getting something that's better, even though it might not necessarily be true.
If it was so toxic, why keep replaying it for profit? At some point, sympathy turns into fatigue. Harry speaks like he carries pain no one else could understand, like hardship was designed just for him. But regular people struggle every single day without a Netflix deal to narrate it. That disconnect is what's rubbing people the wrong way. Kelly Osbourne said her piece, but Jimmy Carr kept the spotlight blazing. And then there's Meghan again, front and center. She says she wants privacy, yet signs major streaming projects, launches podcasts, walks red carpets, and gives interviews about how much she values privacy. That contradiction is what fuels the jokes. It's like saying you hate attention while checking every reflection you pass. The message clashes with the moves. Some of Jimmy's humor went dark, uncomfortable, edgy. That's his style.
Fireworks? What? Let's take a look. Oh, they want so much privacy.
Down with the monarchy. We deserve our privacy.
Are they really like this?
But beneath the shock factor was a clear punchline. The victim narrative feels overplayed. 5 years in, and it still feels like a reality show that never got canceled. We're just a normal couple in California, they say, living near Oprah and away from the press. Sure, normal with global deals and constant headlines. Critics argue Meghan didn't just join the royal family, she disrupted it completely. They say she influenced Harry, distanced him from lifelong friends, and deepened the divide with his relatives. When Jimmy compared her to Wallis Simpson, the reference hit hard. Wallis was the American divorcee linked to King Edward VIII, stepping down from the throne in the 1930s. History remembers that as a love story wrapped in controversy.
I mean this sincerely, Prince Harry and Meghan, we don't give a fuck. America don't give a fuck about you. We don't care about the royal family.
They got a Netflix
We never
show.
cared about nothing that had to do with keep your shows, keep your drama, keep all that nonsense. That's for you British people to fake care about. We do not give a fuck. We don't care.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I hate them. They started off and they're making interesting points about racism and misogyny. Then they start calling each other H&M, and I just thought, oh, do f*** off. Harry starts describing this one date with Meghan as the night, let me quote you here, me and M pulled the pin on a fun grenade. I actually started rooting for Prince Andrew. Harry says, how do you explain to someone who've just started dating that they have to curtsy to your own grandmother?
How do you explain that you bow to your grandmother and that you will need to curtsy, especially to an American? Like, that's weird.
And I'm thinking, maybe just tell her that your grandmother is the fucking queen.
Now, no one is against love. If someone wants to give up a crown for love, that's their choice. But critics claim this story feels less like sacrifice and more like strategy. Once they stepped back from royal duties, the deals lined up fast. Oprah interview, Spotify contract, Netflix millions, one announcement after another, almost like dominoes falling perfectly into place. And that timing is what keeps the debate alive. Supporters say it's smart business. Why not tell your story and secure your future?
They're ridiculous after that. They want it both ways. You know, you can't be, these people were so mean to us, poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want attention. It's just fragile. Just take a hint from the Queen, the recently departed.
Never complain, never explain, and rarely be heard speaking in public.
Like, what's this girl, Meghan Markle? Seemed like a nice lady. Just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? Hit the fucking light skin lottery and still going off complaining. acting all dumb like she don't know nothing. Going on Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family.
Critics say it feels calculated, like every emotional reveal comes with a contract attached. Every headline links back to a launch date. Every tear leads to a trailer. That pattern makes people skeptical. Then there's the branding, the carefully curated image of compassion, healing, authenticity.
She can nail every Spotify deal, WME representation she wants. It's never going to fulfill the hole that's inside of her because there's something wrong with this woman. She dumped her family. Her dad is dying. She won't speak to him. She's ruined another family. It happens to be the royal one. And now they're going to have to sit with the consequences of their own behavior, which is misery. World of entertainment, Netflix has decided it will not renew its deal with Prince Harry and Meghan. It looks like the $100 million multi-year contract with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is set to expire in September, and that's where Netflix will leave it. With more on that.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's media empire is expanding into podcasting. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have joined forces with Spotify to produce and host podcasts, their first series coming next year. The couple have already signed a deal to produce films and TV shows for Netflix after stepping down from royal duties.
Yet every few months, a new interview reopens old wounds. More palace claims, more family tension, more inside details. If the goal was peace, why keep poking the past? That question lingers.
They've made an appeal for their privacy and they said, we just want everybody to leave them alone.
But we're going to do books and documentaries.
Well, no, they said it at Oprah, and then weirdly nobody left them alone. So they thought, well, okay, we started a Spotify series. So Meghan did her Spotify series saying, leave me alone, will you stop looking at me? And people kept looking at her. So then they did a book.
You pop.
It's true, he did a book saying, leave me alone, stop giving me all this attention. And that didn't work either. So now they've got a Netflix documentary saying, leave us alone, stop giving us all this attention. It is likely, one assumes, to be an absolute goldmine for Netflix. They're going to make a fortune, because if you remember Howard Stern, the shock jock in the States, there's a famous scene in his movie and in his book Private Parts where they do the original research into him on WNBC, and they say what the research shows is that half of his listeners hate him, and management said all the more reason to get him off, and they said no, they're the ones who listen most. And that's what'll happen with this. People who loathe Harry and Meghan.
Even their big projects follow the same script: a dramatic trailer, emotional music, close-up shots, promises of our truth. It's powerful storytelling, no doubt. But when every chapter circles back to the same royal conflict, audiences start to feel like they're watching season 5 of the same plot. Meanwhile, Prince William keeps a lower profile, fewer interviews, fewer emotional confessions, just official duties and public events. That contrast only adds fuel to the conversation. One side talks.
Meghan Markle was there, who's a huge celebrity.
Yeah, you guys love suits.
Specifically, Prince Harry loves suits.
Yeah.
He used it like Tinder.
It's very interesting. Did you ever run into Meghan Markle or anything like that you ever heard of? Because you were in New York quite a lot. But then you were until 2013, and Meghan Markle, I think, entered the scene with Soho House in 2012.
Yeah, so I went to Soho House a lot in London. It was a scene like Harry was always there, partying. He partied a lot. I saw so many people in the Soho, and it was dark. It was a lot of escorts were there, a lot of models were there. It was definitely a scene. Ron was there.
It's all going great. Don't fuck it up.
The other side works quietly, and people pick sides fast. The biggest issue for critics isn't ambition, it's consistency. You can't shout about privacy while signing massive publicity deals. You can't claim you want distance while selling detailed stories about the same institution. That gap between words and actions is where the frustration lives. At the end of the day, the spotlight hasn't faded. If anything, it's brighter. And whether that's by accident or design is the real question people keep asking. Because for two people who said they wanted out, they're still very much in the center of the stage.
Everybody's fucking life is hard.
Yeah,
you were the prince of a goddamn country who dressed up as a fucking Nazi, and now you're trying to come back as the Pope?
Curtsy, the thing she said about medieval times, her lunch with the Queen was like medieval times, which, as you know, is a Disney-type entertainment place for kids. And it's just so horribly disrespectful and just a wine fest. Cuddly, lovey, holding hands, going everywhere together. It's so disingenuous. It's like, come on.
To supporters, that's smart business. To critics, it's calculated timing. Either way, the spotlight hasn't dimmed for a second. And for two people who say they wanted a quieter life, the noise just keeps getting louder. And Jimmy Carr isn't some lone voice shouting into the void. A lot of people have been calling this out for years. The pattern didn't start with the royal family.
All have in common.
Who's the lady in the middle?
What, Wallis Simpson? She's a divorced American lady, and she calls the king to abdicate because he wanted to be with her. Do you remember?
So she's like vintage Meghan, old school Meghan.
Yeah, she's American.
That's a great way to describe Wallis Simpson. She's the original Meghan Markle.
Okay.
June Harry, the ginger, formerly known as Prince, became the first British royal to give evidence in court for 130 years. It's disgusting the way the press have tried to manipulate, gaslight and control Harry. I mean, who do they think they are? Meghan?
Critics say it started way before that. The tension with her own father, the public fallouts, the siblings speaking out. To them, it looks like wherever Meghan goes, relationships crack. That's the narrative that keeps coming up again and again. At some point, what was framed as a dramatic escape from royal pressure started looking more like a clean business rollout. They didn't leave the royal story behind. They wrapped it up, polished it, and sold it to the highest bidder.
Harry and Meghan say they'd now like to split their time between spending your money in the UK and spending your money in Canada. In January, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced plans to step back from royal duties and move to America. A term was coined to sum up the event and added to the Collins English Dictionary. What was it?
Oh, I know this one. Is it called rebranding?
No, Chloe. It's called
Mexit.
Oh, maybe I will get the next one right.
Question number 2.
In May, Prince Harry married Meghan Markle at a star-studded wedding in Windsor. Elton John, Tom Hardy and the Beckhams were all there, but can you name 3 American celebrities that attended?
I don't know about the 3 American celebrities that attended, but I definitely know 3 Americans who didn't attend. Meghan's father, mother, and her brother. She didn't invite her own family to the wedding.
Due to technical difficulties and too much reality, we will have to postpone.
Tell-all interviews, emotional documentaries, a memoir packed with family details. That's not running away from the spotlight. That's monetizing it. Jimmy even joked about the taxpayer money angle, the security costs, the royal perks, the expensive transitions. He painted it like entitlement with a smile. No visible guilt, no visible hesitation. Just a smooth pivot from palace privilege to Hollywood contracts. And when he said it on stage, the internet exploded. Clips everywhere. Comment sections on fire.
Oh, no, please don't send them here. We don't need them here. Keep them in the States, eh?
We're not keeping them in the USA, bro. We never wanted them. Send them back to the UK.
Oi, mate, absolutely not. We already got rid of them once. We're not taking return. Finders weepers, losers keepers, yeah?
We know that Meghan Markle was doing the nasty there with a bunch of people. I am so shocked that Harry is not concerned about his... I hope he had an STD check, because this is gross, because we know what they were doing in those yachts.
But look, it's vanity pure and simple is what it is. Everyone's hung up about something. Good example, my girlfriend's incredibly self-conscious about her big, fat, ugly nose. No offense, love. No, I didn't know you'd be here. It's the lady on the front row looking paranoid. Like, have I got a massive nose and no one's ever told me? You did like my suit, yes, I should be nicer, but how would that be funny?
People arguing non-stop. He also dug into Harry's independence, or what he believes is the lack of it. According to Jimmy's punchlines, Harry has never truly run his own life. First, it was palace officials, then guidance from Queen Elizabeth II, structured schedules, strict protocols, carefully managed appearances. The moment that system ended, critics say someone else stepped in to steer the ship. The joke was simple but sharp. Harry always has a boss. First the institution, then his grandmother, now his wife. The idea that he can't function without someone managing the details, someone shaping the message, someone deciding the next move. Jimmy made it sound like Harry went from royal handler to Hollywood handler without ever standing fully alone. Let's pause for a second, though. The backlash isn't just blind hate.
I remember that day in Windsor. It was magical when Harry and Meghan got married, and I remember thinking that the world had finally shifted, that we were moving forward. But now we know that the fairy tale was actually the beginning of a very long and painful nightmare.
What can Harry do?
He doesn't get security anymore. He has to pay for security. He has to buy his house. He has to mind the kids.
Do you know what Harry did for a while? Do you know what William used to do? William used to fly Coast Guard helicopters. Put on a little helmet, put on goggles. Nobody knew who he was, flew a helicopter. There's nothing stopping Harry getting a job flying helicopters in LA. He could fly a traffic report helicopter every morning.
No, go
Highly
away.
qualified man.
I'm so
And when
silly.
you do,
I'm so silly.
You're getting a job like the rest of us.
Because the paparazzi are never going to leave them alone. They're
Because
never
they keep going
leave
up to
them
the
alone.
paparazzi and saying, hello, leave
They're
me
never
alone.
going to leave them alone.
For many critics, it's about contradictions. They talk about privacy while signing major deals. They talk about trauma while turning that trauma into premium content. Interviews, books, podcasts, streaming contracts worth millions. Meanwhile, regular people deal with messy families, mental health struggles, and online criticism without security teams or global platforms. That gap is what fuels the frustration. Harry sometimes speaks like he discovered pain before anyone else, like no one could possibly understand his struggle. But the average person wakes up, handles their problems, and keeps moving without a documentary crew. That disconnect makes people roll their eyes. And Meghan, critics say she never admits fault, not once. Every controversy becomes a misunderstanding.
Now, I was curious what they did with Harry and Meghan's wax figures, so I found the museum employee who's temporarily storing them. Oliver, you have generously offered to keep the wax figures of Harry and Meghan safe.
Yeah, that's correct. And if I may, I would just like to say that I'm definitely not using the wax figures for sex. They are in a loving home, and I treat them better than the museum ever did. They didn't appreciate Meghan's soft hands or Harry's supple lips.
Every backlash becomes proof she's targeted. Every misstep gets reframed into a lesson or a rebrand. Nothing is ever simply, I was wrong. It always circles back into content. More episodes, more interviews, more headlines. Oh, I know this one. Is it called rebranding? That's the vibe Jimmy pushed. Everything becomes strategy. Even the wedding guest list sparked talk. Some American celebrities were front and center, but people noticed who wasn't there. Her father, extended family members. That absence raised eyebrows and fueled even more speculation. Now watch the tone shift when Prince William comes up in comedy sets. The sarcasm fades. The jokes soften. There's often genuine respect in the delivery. William is described as steady, grounded, focused on duty. He shows up, does the job, and keeps it moving. That contrast is what makes the Harry and Meghan story feel louder by comparison. If Harry and Meghan truly wanted a silent life, critics say they could have had it. Step back quietly. Build private businesses without royal confessions attached. Avoid cameras. Avoid commentary. But instead, they launched shows about wanting privacy, podcasts about their pain, public appearances explaining why they want less attention, then act surprised when the public keeps watching. At this point, it doesn't look like running from the spotlight. It looks like booking it on purpose. And whether you love them or can't stand them, the conversation isn't slowing down anytime soon. Drop a comment if you think the comedy world is finally saying what others were afraid to say. Hit like if Jimmy Carr's jokes landed for you. And subscribe, because this drama keeps unfolding in real time, and the next twist is probably already loading.